What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Howdy, and welcome to the Mighty Muddy Chuck channel. I'm Chuck. So North Korea leader Kim Jong-un is going to Russia, or he's already gone to Russia. He's already in Russia. He's there, baby. And the West is threatening him. You know, we're gonna increase sanctions. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Well, North Korea has the second to fifth largest military in the world, depending on the source that you're looking at. Most of the propaganda that I've been looking at, there's concerned about North Korea selling weapons to Russia, weapons to Russia, weapons to Russia. I better be worried about that military that North Korea controls. And also, it's doubtful that Kim Jong-un will be going to, and I apologize if I'm saying his name wrong, because I'm not looking at it, I'm not reading it, and I could be saying it wrong. But anyway, the West should be concerned that perhaps, would he be going to Russia if China did not give him the okay? You go, baby. You do that, baby. We want you to do that, baby. So, the weapons may be a concern. I don't know what the intelligence community is looking at, but if North Korea provides troops, if China starts providing troops, through the guise of North Korea, if they start moving troops into the Ukraine to fight the West, it's not a good situation. The money changers have got us into a terrible situation. There's predictions out there that Europe will be invaded, and it could start with China through North Korea, or North Korea together, them moving troops into the Ukraine, and how quickly will they increase their manpower there and their weaponry there to create a battle with the West. Russia may start, and China, with China's help or North Korea's help, they may start just trying to put the East Bloc back together again, like before the USSR fell. Just put it back together again, because the West has proven they're not abiding by the agreement that was put in place when the USSR fell. They're not abiding by the agreement. They proved that in the Ukraine. The Ukraine should have been left alone. And Russia should have left the Ukraine alone. The West should have left the Ukraine alone. The Ukraine should have been left alone. Instead, the money changers were trying to bankrupt it to create, to force the Ukraine to do certain things that the Ukraine did not want to do. Then Russia offered a loan to the Ukraine, a sizable loan, to try to help them stand up against the Western powers. And then the Western powers, they had a hissy fit, and they supported revolution in the Ukraine, and here we are. To be clear, I love America. I'm American. I'm Southern. My family goes way back. Part of my family was standing there greeting the pilgrims on the Mayflower, I think. And another part of my ancestors might have actually been on the Mayflower. I'm not totally sure about that. But I am a proud American. I don't like seeing what's happening to America. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. But the money changers, going back to the Civil War, that's what the Civil War was really about. It was about the money changers. It's about changing the economy, creating an indebted society, which the South was already indebted to Europe, but it was kind of like a barter system, a barter exchange system. It kind of cut the bankers out. It was more barter without the bankers being in the middle of every transaction. And the money changers wanted to get in the middle of every transaction. And there's some people that's made the case. I can't remember all the information that was been given on it, but they make a pretty good case that the money changers, going back to, the John Brown, Harper's Ferry, that they were the money people behind that, and also Uncle Tom's Cabin. One of the probably largest finance propaganda books of all time, that the money changers, the bankers, were behind that. Building up that propaganda, creating that level of hate between the North and the South. It was fostered. It was built on. And you look at what they're doing now to the American people. They're pitting us against one another, creating a level of hate. And I'm not talking about whether the slavery was right or wrong. I'm not getting into that. I'm just talking about the bankers and the money changers and what their agenda was. You can't say that these people actually cared about the slaves, the Southerner, the Northerner. The North had indentured servants. They had sweatshops, really bad sweatshops. You can't say it was about humanity. The Civil War is about humanity, because it wasn't. And what followed, it didn't usher in an age of humanity, did it? For anybody, black, white, or whatever, it did not usher in an age of humanity. So, Biden or John Kerry, whoever you think's running the country, they worked out a deal with Iran. They gave Iran, or released $6 billion of money to Iran, and there was a prisoner swap. And on Twitter, I commented, I wonder if Iran had demanded that the January 6th political prisoners had been released, how would the Biden administration responded then? My point was, they don't care about people. It was never about the prisoners. They don't care about people. For some reason, John Kerry, we know how he feels about Iran, and it was about putting Iran back on the path that they were on before Donald Trump. That's what it's about. It's not about the prisoners. It's not about the money. It's not about humanity. It's about helping Iran become a nuclear power. Why? Why do they want that? I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't know what goes through John Kerry's mind when he's sitting up on his estate in France and with his stick chasing the hikers off his property. Get off my property! Get off! There's been court cases where get off my property. Yeah, he's a really that man's all about humanity. He and his rich wife. They try to paint that he come from an upper middle class family. That was a propaganda when they were bringing him onto the world stage. No, he's tied in with the Forbes family. He's tied in with what's that other family? He's tied. His heritage goes back to a bunch of rich families. He might have lived upper middle class, but no, he comes from wealth. He married wealth, and he's not about humanity. Biden is not about humanity. The Civil War was not about humanity. The Ukrainian war is not about humanity. It's about this. And I kind of need some of this myself. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, me. So, the Ukraine's a mess. Biden, he was talking about the, in Vietnam, in that speech he gave, he was talking about, the deforestation. And that's an important topic, and he should have been talking about it. I was glad to hear him talk about it. To be very clear, I was glad to hear him talk about that, because that's an important subject. But he's talking about Brazil and how they've, reduce the level of deforestation. I don't know whether that's true or not. I have my doubts. He was in Vietnam talking, and Vietnam still has a large amount of jungle and forest, but it's shrinking at a fairly rapid pace. And there Biden was talking about deforestation in a country that's their jungles and forests are declining fairly rapidly. And then Biden was talking about building that railroad from India all the way to Europe. Do you know how much ecological damage that railroad will do as they build, the ports, the shipping lanes, the railroads themselves, the actual railroads? If they actually build it, the amount of ecological damage they'll do. Here in Georgia, they're putting up an electric car factory in wetlands. Now, not all of it's wetlands. They first were going to do it in wetlands, and there's a lot of opposition, and so they backed off and they bought some property that is more that had already been drained and was being used originally for chicken houses and hay and that kind of stuff. But now it's that beautiful farmland that was there. It's now going to be a car plant, and part of the land they took over was wetlands. And here we are sitting in a county that where the majority of the people still, I use a well. The back property has a deep well, the front property has a shallow well. But when I think about the ecological damage that car plant might do, I'm not altogether happy. But what am I going to do about it? There's nothing I can do about it. I don't have a magic wand. I can't change the future. I can hope it goes bankrupt before it totally destroys, the land, but that's not likely to happen. They'll destroy the land, then they'll go bankrupt. But, Anyway, I've rambled enough. Much thanks for watching and listening. I do appreciate it. Hopefully I've informed you about some stuff. If not, hopefully I entertained you with my dance. Yeah. Much thanks for watching and listening. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Much thanks for watching and listening. Again, I appreciate it. Thank you. Hit that subscribe button. If you're still with me, I love you.